There are days when I wake up and look around and think, what is this place? Why am I even here? And the strange part is that the question feels both exciting and terrifying at the same time. We are all standing on this tiny planet, floating through endless space, acting like we know what we are doing. When I imagine the world from far away, it feels like a small blue ball drifting through darkness. How is that not scary and amazing at the same time? I have tried to think my way through the big questions. I tried to figure out the purpose of life, the meaning of existence, and the reason we are here. But every time I get close to some kind of answer, my mind shuts the door and leaves me in silence. I realized I will probably never know the full truth. Maybe no one ever does. At best, we get small moments where everything makes sense for 1 second. Then it fades again like a dream when you wake up. I used to push myself to find answers. I thought if I could understand life, then I would finally feel safe. But life does not work like that. The more I chased certainty, the more anxious I became. At some point, I caught myself thinking so much that I stopped living. I sat there one evening and thought, if I keep thinking about life instead of living it, I am going to miss the whole thing. That thought hit me hard. I have 2 kids. Being a parent changed what questions mattered. I started wondering what I could tell them about life so they don't have to suffer in the same ways I did. It's difficult because children do not learn from speeches. They learn from how you live. I could say all the right things, but if I didn't live them, my words would be empty. And that's where the pressure shows up. You cannot just talk about truth. You have to embody it. I wanted to teach my kids how to be authentic, how to be themselves in a world that constantly tries to shape them into something else. But I had to face a hard truth. I was still trying to be someone other people approved of. I was still editing myself to fit in. I was still trying to please everyone, even people who didn't matter. When you see that in yourself as a parent, it stings. It means you have work to do before you can guide anyone else. So I asked myself, what message do I want my kids to learn from me? And the answer came quietly. I want them to know they do not have to be perfect. They do not have to know everything. They do not have to hide their feelings. Being human is not about winning. It is about showing up honestly. Growing up, I learned the opposite. I learned to hide. I learned to stay neutral. I learned to numb emotions so I would not get embarrassed or rejected. That numbness followed me into adulthood. There were times in my life when I could not feel anything. I was not sad or happy. I was just there, breathing but not living. I did not want my children to live like that. I wanted them to know that it is okay to feel deeply. It is okay to cry. It is okay to be confused. It is okay to ask for help. I wanted to create a home where emotions had space to exist instead of being buried under silence. One day, I sat alone and thought about how weird it is that parents try so hard to protect their children from pain, even though pain is part of the journey. You cannot shield children from life. You can only build a safe container for them to experience it inside. They will get hurt. They will fail. They will lose things. They will question themselves. That is not bad. That is human. What we can do as parents is make sure that none of those experiences become their identity. When I thought about my own childhood, I remembered how hardwired all my fears had become. Beliefs from family, culture, and childhood experiences had been stuck inside my brain for years. I believed that love would complete me. I believed someone out there would fix all my broken pieces. I believed someone would arrive and make me feel at home. That belief became an obsession. I thought if I found the one, everything else would fall into place. It sounds romantic until you live it. Then it becomes exhausting. I spent so much time searching for love, that I stopped searching for myself. I chased women I had never even met, expecting them to fill the emptiness I felt inside, and I discovered many men were doing the same thing. We look at women as solutions instead of people. We look at relationships as cures instead of mirrors. The more I chased, the more tired I became. I reached a point where I did not even know what I truly wanted. I only knew I wanted someone to save me from myself. That never works. Then something strange happened. I had a dream. In the dream, I met a woman who I recognized immediately. Not with my eyes, but with some deeper part of me. I felt like we had been together forever. And in that moment, I understood something that changed everything. The one I had been searching for outside had been inside me the whole time. When I woke up, the obsession collapsed. All the chasing disappeared. I finally understood what people meant when they said, "You need to love yourself." I never liked that sentence because it sounded selfish and vague, but now it felt real. I realized I did love myself, and I didn't mean in a shallow way. I meant I loved the version of me that had always been waiting in silence. She had never been out there in the world. She had always been inside my chest, inside my breath, inside my life. For the first time in years, I felt something. I was not numb. My heart was awake, and I knew I did not want my kids to grow up disconnected from themselves the way I had. After that dream, everything inside me shifted. I stopped trying to force life to give me meaning, and instead I started watching how life was already speaking to me. The more I paid attention, the more I realized how numb I had been for most of my life. I had lived like a ghost inside my own skin. Feelings were things to avoid, not things to experience. But once I opened even a little, everything started to come through. Sadness, joy, fear, excitement, awe. It was overwhelming, but in the best way. Feeling meant I was alive. I decided my kids needed to see that version of me, not the silent one. I needed them to know that it is okay to be broken sometimes. It is okay to have emotions that do not make sense. It is okay to tremble and question and speak up. Being vulnerable is not a weakness. It is how you stay human in a world that keeps trying to harden you. I developed a deep love for the land around me. Nature made more sense than people. In the wild, nothing pretends. A tree does not try to be a better tree. A bird does not try to be a smarter bird. Everything just exists exactly as it is. There is no mask, no performance, no competition. And the more time I spent outside, the more I realized how disconnected humans have become from the world that gave us life. Kids walk through forests as if they are entering a foreign country. Adults see wilderness as something to avoid. We forget that this place is alive. We forget that we belong to it. When I was 7, I felt I belonged to everything around me. I talked to trees. I watched ants. I made up stories about the wind. Then, somewhere between childhood and adulthood, I stopped belonging. I forgot. And now I watch other people walking around like strangers in the world that raised them. I tell my children, this place sees you. You are not alone here. You belong to this earth, and the earth belongs to you. I want them to remember what I once forgot, to know that they do not have to earn their place here. They already have it. But the world is not only beautiful, it is full of heartbreak. I have seen people who had nothing, people who were born into struggle they never asked for, people who inherited pain instead of opportunity. And every time I looked at them, I wondered why my life turned out differently. I wondered what I did to deserve my portion. I still do not have an answer. Watching suffering does something to you. It makes you realize life is not fair. It makes you confront privilege, responsibility, and luck. It forces you to ask yourself whether you will use your life to consume or to contribute. I could not escape those questions, so I made a decision. If I was given a life that felt good, I needed to live in a way that made the world a little better. Not by saving everyone, not by preaching, but by living honestly and offering what I can. Because the world is complicated. There is beauty. There is heartbreak. There is trauma. There is devastation. There are people who rise and people who break. And somewhere in the middle of all of that is each of us trying to figure out what we are supposed to do with our time here. When I am at a crossroads now, I ask myself one simple question. Will I be proud that I tried? If the answer is yes, I take that path. If it works out, good. If it does not, at least I tried. Failure does not hurt as much as regret. I want to reach my final day being able to say I did not hide from my own life. I do not need to be remembered as a hero or a saint. I just want to know I lived fully, that I felt deeply, that I gave my kids something real, that I left the world a fraction better than I found it, that I stopped running away from myself long enough to meet the person I was meant to be.